In this video, I'm going to walk you through a use case of one of my clients that needed help managing her business. She was new to running her business and she just needed a system and couldn't find anything that was exactly what she needed. So we helped her build out a system within a tool called Blocks. In this video, I'm going to show you how we did it and how simple it was to actually set it up using Blocks. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tara. Over the past 4 years, I've helped hundreds of businesses become more efficient using AI and automation. If you need any assistance with your business, my contact information is in the description below, so feel free to reach out. And now let's jump into the use case. Before we jump in to see what I set up for the client, I want to give you a little bit of background. My customer was an artist, and she basically had two different sides of her business. On the one hand, she had the B2C clients, where she was selling directly to customers. They would go to her Shopify and purchase some of her portraits. On the other side of her business, she did custom orders. So she either did custom portraits, and she also did a lot of custom swag. So for example, she was very involved in different golf tournaments. So companies would hire her to custom design things like scarves or t-shirts and things like that. And then she would design them, print it for them, and then send it to them. So she needed to manage both of these sides of her business. She also was using QuickBooks to manage her finances. She had two different salespeople on her team that she wanted to keep track and continuously train and understand the metrics. But the biggest pain point that my customer brought to me is that she's like, everything's all over. I have QuickBooks over here, my CRM is over here, I have my Shopify information over here, and my social media is over here. I want everything in one place where I can easily see it. So that was exactly what we built. And now let's jump in to see what was built for this client that, if you ask me, changed the way she ran her business. I would say that building this app took a good couple of hours. Obviously, the integrations take a little bit of time. As you can see here, I'm on the main dashboard of the app. Here, we start out with some financial data, like what's the revenue pipeline, how many active deals, closed revenue, and how many active orders. And here you can see the pipeline by stage and how many different orders. Now, if I continue to scroll down, we can also see the sales performance by rep. And here you can see some upcoming tasks. Now, here's where I think it gets really interesting. Here you can see that it's connected to Instagram. So here you can see that we have all of the information from Instagram, like how many followers, how many posts, things like that. What are her top posts? And as we continue to scroll down, you can see that we have Shopify information. So here we have information like total orders, total revenue, average order value, and all this other information from Shopify. One thing she specifically wanted was the top products by units that were sold. Before I jump down to this AI business assistant, if you look at all of this, this is basically everything in her business. She has the Shopify business, she has her orders, she has the information about her sales team, she has her tasks. And then what we did all the way at the bottom is we added an AI assistant. So here's an example that I just said, who has more deals this month? And you can see this month, Chrissy has more deals than Laura. Here's the breakdown. And here I have the information. So really what we created is a way for her to ask this chat agent anything about her business. So that way she can understand what's going on. Let's look at some of the other boards that were created. The next thing that we have is this pipeline view, and you can see that it's either in this Kanban view or there's a table view. Super easy to read, super clear, because that's what she wanted. She didn't want a tool that has 1,000,001 features that she's never going to use. If you click on it, you can see here that we have one option, one deal in this initial outreach. And if you click on it, you can see that you have an activity feed. Here's the different stages and all the other information that has to do with this deal. And then what we have here, this is one of my favorite parts, is that if you click on this button, it can create an invoice in QuickBooks Online for her. So everything's in one place. Now let's jump to the orders board. Then we have an orders board. Here we have different search criteria where you can search. And again, a clear, easy way to view all of the orders. And we simply just need to open it. And we can see this information, whatever information we need for the orders. We also can write updates here. So once you write updates, we'll have a running log of all the updates and conversations that you had about these orders. Now, this is where I really had fun building this actually, because the task board are tasks that need to be done. But what I find a lot of times is some people are working in the pipeline board and some people are working in the orders board and they never know what they need to do. So the way that the system is set up is that as soon as there's a task that they need to do in the pipeline or in the orders board, it automatically shows up in the tasks. So essentially, they only need to be looking at the task board. The next thing that I set up is a contacts board. Now, if you click on it, you'll see that here we have the information about a contact, but it's also linked to the pipeline deal and the orders. So we have all of the information linked in one place. Now, I know this may seem like a relatively simple setup. However, for this client, it was a life changer because she has her dashboard with everything she needs. She has her information from Shopify plus a CRM to track all of her orders, and she gets totals in one place. It connects to her social media so she can see that information. She has her tasks here. She has her contacts. And on top of it, she has an AI agent that she can ask all of this information to. So while building out your own system may, I guess, take a minute to get used to it, if this is what's going to be best for your business because you want something custom, you don't need all the jazz and all the extra features, you just want to focus on what you need, that is going to make your business simpler because you're focusing on just what your company needs. So I definitely recommend checking out Blocks if you need a custom app to help manage your business. As always, if you need any help, feel free to reach out and I'll see you in the next video.